Merry Meet Cancer, Cancer sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Cancer, starting today, the 27th of July, 2023. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Honeypaw, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Shirley. Thank you so much, Honeypaw. Thank you so much, Shirley. And thank you to all you Cancers and friends of Cancers for joining us for this 2-week reading. I'm so happy you're here. If you're watching us on a restream on YouTube and you want to fast forward through all the shuffling, just look for those timestamps in the video description of this very video. Today I'm reading with this Golden Tarot by Liz Dean. It's a gorgeous kind of a amalgam between the Rider-Waite-Smith and the Marseille deck. And I've already purified with this beautiful vervain for my smudging by Panier d'Essence. It's a lovely Van. You can find information about how to purchase those products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. I don't read with card reversals, and I just like to mention that in case you happen to wonder why I flip those cards right side up. I just like to. There's a lot of reasons why I don't. I don't want to spend time talking about too much of that, but just know I know what I'm doing. It's how I like to do it. It's perfectly fine to read with reversals, but it's also perfectly fine not to. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, please make sure that you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch us on Twitch without any ads if you subscribe to us there. On your screen, you're going to see prompts to a few URLs. One is my website, where you can find all of the stuff that we do at Ariel's Corner. And just as a reminder, everything at Ariel's Corner is free of charge, no matter what. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, we also have a PayPal portal if you want to give us a donation listed there. And we have a link to our shop where we make a small commission off of each and every sale. So we do appreciate your support. If you want to support us and you're watching on YouTube, another way to do that is by using a super sticker or super chat if you're live, or a super thanks if you are on a restream. We do appreciate everything, but mostly we appreciate you being here, Cancer, for this 2-week reading. So I'm going to shuffle one more time because I think this is sufficient. Well, let's do 2, just because it's you and you deserve it. And then I'll give this deck a nice clean cut, and we will see what's in the cards for you gorgeous Cancers. I love Cancers so much. I love all of my Cancer friends. I just adore you. 8 of Swords, Emperor, and Empress. Well, this is nice. You're coming out of a period, it looks like, of a bit of an obsessive use of your mind where you just can't stop thinking about stuff. And you want to catch that. You really don't want that obsession to take away too much of your time. It's a time waster that the ego comes up with. And so if you don't know how to turn the chatter of obsessive thinking off, first of all, don't judge yourself for it, because we all go through that. We all have plenty of that, but it just seems to be kind of acute for you lately. You can use my technique called the off switch. Just search on my YouTube channel for Gatoga off switch. You can listen to that video. I think it's only like 3 minutes long or something really short, and learn the technique and use it over and over and over again to shut that down. The reason why you want to do that is because you've got lots going on this next couple weeks. I love it when the Emperor and the Empress are facing one another. What that's telling me is that you are really pulling it together, and you're getting it together. And not only are you looking at being poised and prosperous, but you're looking at being an executive and having and making really important and powerful decisions that make such a huge difference in your life. And you're poised to make some extremely powerful choices and decisions, and you're going to do a great job. So you want to shut down the obsession, because that's distracting. So shut your mind down and let the mind be as quiet as possible, and allow these decisions to come from a place of poise. So I do not yet have an Emperor meditation, but I do have an Empress meditation, and that will help you with the poise. So it's called Lessons from the Goddess of Prosperity. And I would definitely, if you have a chance, if you haven't already listened to it, give it a listen and see if it doesn't help you a little bit over these next couple weeks. I'm going to open this up now because it looks really powerful. Oh, great. So the Tower is behind you. The 9 is on top of you, the 9 of Swords, and then the World card. So remind yourself frequently, Cancer, that the ego in this moment would not be so activated in you if you weren't doing things well, if things weren't going well, and if you weren't so on the right track. Because the ego in this sense, now there's a lot of ways to define the ego, but the ego in this sense is thought forms of self-destruction, which every human mind has, unfortunately. We bought into that a long, long time ago. So that's why sometimes when things are going well, we get really afraid. We get really worried because the ego wants to sabotage what's going well. And so this worry that you're going through, many of you are going through, I want you to be really clear how unfounded it is and how it's there to distract you and to waste your time and to hopefully get you to make some faulty choices if the ego gets its way. It doesn't look like it's going to work out so well for the ego this time because you are really focused and committed to getting to where you need to go. And that commitment is everything. I want to tell you one more thing about the ego, which I talk about all the time, but I just want to make sure it's clear. The ego is nothing to be afraid of because the ego doesn't exist. It's just a habit of thinking that we get into. It's a habit of thinking. It's old grooves of thought forms that we get into where we tend to find ways to destroy our success. That's all. And you're not going to play that game anymore. And one of the ways that you shut that game down is you shut down that worry. You shut down that obsessive thinking. You recognize all of that destruction that you've kind of gone through. You've gone through a period of real undoing. And for many of you, it's almost seemed violent, like a violent undoing. But that's just the way that your ego is trying to perceive the past. Try to look at what has happened through a new lens and see that what you've been going through is a liberation. You've been going through a liberation, and you are you've been liberated from so many things that have been standing in the way of your success. And success can mean so many different things to so many different of you. It's not necessarily business or financial success, although it can be. But your success in general is you've paved a way to that success by allowing for this destruction of whatever has been destroyed. This liberation. Now, for some of you, you can look back and you can say, well, I didn't really have anything to do with that. It just happened to me. But even if that were true, I'm not sure that that's 100% true because I think that you did have a hand in it. You just don't realize it. But even if that were true, take the gift. You can't undo what's already happened necessarily, but you can undo the decisions you've made about it. So look at it with fresh eyes and say, well, it happened. I can either resent the way it happened or I can claim the gifts, but I can't really do both at once. We want to have it all, but you can't. You can't go east and west at the same time. You can't go up and down at the same time. You can't inhale and exhale at the same time. You can't swallow and breathe at the same time unless you want to choke. Right? So you can't look back with regret or resentment about the way things transpired and receive the gifts. Right? So you have to learn how to be objective about the past, not obsess over the past, and instead feel clear that that what happened in the past was in fact a liberation of you. And take the gift, move on, and recognize that you're the emperor. That's who you are. You're also the empress, but right now you're the emperor. And what you say goes. And what's your empire? Every part of your life. Every single part of your life. Now, what kind of an emperor do you want to be? That's the thing you have to decide. Do I want to be a worried emperor that's all scared? That's all they do is think about the past and resent the past and not have any or exhibit any real power. But we just let the empire sort of fall to ruin because we're so, we think of ourselves as being weak and vulnerable. There have been many, you can look through even Roman history and see plenty of evidence of those kinds of emperors. There's really cruel, mean, vindictive emperors. You want to be one of those? Or do you want to be a benign emperor? One that really helps the empire, which is your life, to move forward into greater prosperity, greater peace, and greater connection and oneness. One like, say, Marcus Aurelius, or one of those really wonderful emperors who were not cruel dictators, but really cared about their empire and the people in it. That's who you want to be. But you can't be like that if you're constantly allowing yourself to be guided by worry or resentment or regret. Instead, you want to be guided by the knowingness of where you're headed, what you want to do. Keeping that old saying, keeping your eyes on the prize. And when you do that, then you recognize, oh, I forgot my power is in my poise. My power is in how I carry myself. Think about the power of poise as being a magnetic quality. That's when you bring those two qualities together. You really get yourself together. This is a very powerful combination, especially when they're facing each other, of the emperor and the empress. That's your subconscious mind and your conscious mind working in consort to create for you. Now, what you're creating is very, very good with this world card over here. What you're creating is fantastic. But there's delay for as long as you're willing to be encased in worry or regret or resentment, especially about the past, or worrying about the future. Instead, you have to pull on put on your emperor pants, right? You have to pull on those emperor pants and sit in that emperor throne and say, I say what goes. I say what goes. Now, an emperor can't say what goes outside of their own empire. They can't say, you will surrender to me, other country, or you will get into a good trade agreement with me, you other country. It can't do that. But within its own empire, the emperor can definitely say what goes. Now, how does the emperor always make sure to make right decisions and decisions that are compassionate and good for all concerned? By listening to the trusted advisors. So a powerful emperor, a powerful leader, is one that follows on the invisible plane. One that tries to lead on the invisible plane, meaning my ideas, I know what to do, me. They don't come out so well in the physical. But the one that says, please show me to their inner guidance, please show me what to do. I want to follow. I want to be a follower on the invisible plane. I want to follow my inner guide. I want to follow my guardian angel, whatever you want to call it. And I want to be led. Well, when you do that, everybody looks at that. They don't know that that's what you're doing. All they think is, whoa, genius leader, right? And then this empress, she's all poised and powerful and wonderful. All she does is sit straight in her throne and let everything come to her. Everybody comes to her and does her hair. Everybody comes to her and does her clothes. Everybody comes to her and gives her gifts. She does whatever she wants to do, but she doesn't have to do too much because it comes to her based on her poise. And that juxtaposition is what's going to give you the world, is what's going to give you all of that success. But you do have to start off with deciding the kind of emperor you want to be. And that means that you have to shut down the obsession, shut down the worry, and stop resenting and regretting the past. Instead, see the past as being wonderful. It was exactly what you needed. Take the gift and move on. You're going to do great, Cancer. This is a very powerful reading, and I'm very, very excited and proud of you. Excited for you and proud of you. You're doing great. I will be back in 2 more weeks. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Honeypot and Shirley, and we will see you in 2 weeks, Cancer. Blessed be.